It was a crazy busy weekend in the college football world, as the transfer portal went absolutely crazy. There were a lot of different players who transferred to a new program over the last few days, so let's get to all the big names that changed schools. But before we get to today's video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you're watching this video, odds are you love college football, and odds are you aren't subscribed to my channel, so make sure to subscribe. It's one of the best college football communities here on YouTube. We'll start with the biggest name that transferred, as former USC quarterback Miller Moss transferred to Louisville. Things come full circle for Moss, as his coming out party happened last season in the Holiday Bowl against Louisville. If you remember, in that game he went nuclear when he threw for 400 yards and had 6 passing touchdowns. He's going to play under coach Jeff Brom, who is a noted quarterback tutor and play caller. Under Brom in 2024, transfer quarterback Tyler Shuck threw for 3,200 yards and had 23 passing touchdowns. He also looked like a pretty damn good quarterback a number of times as well. During his career at USC, Moss has thrown for 3,500 yards with 27 passing touchdowns. In 2024, he threw for over 2,500 yards and had 18 passing touchdowns. He started the first 9 games of the season for the Trojans before he was benched after a loss to Washington, and he didn't start the rest of the season. I think this is a massive pickup for Louisville, and I wouldn't be surprised if Miller Moss has a Heisman caliber season in 2025. Former Oklahoma quarterback Jackson Arnold transferred to Auburn, not Mississippi State, like many, myself included, were expecting. Arnold began at Oklahoma with a lot of hype. He was the number 3 overall recruit in the class of 2023 and was the Gatorade National Player of the Year. He served as Dillon Gabriel's backup quarterback during his freshman season, but was named the starting quarterback in 2024. He finished his season with 1,400 passing yards and 500 yards on the ground, with 15 total touchdowns. In the first season in the SEC, the Sooners began the preseason ranked number 16, but their season quickly got out of hand and they finished the year going 6-6. During Oklahoma's first SEC game against Tennessee, Arnold was benched before halftime after 3 turnovers. Freshman Michael Hawkins replaced him to finish off the loss, and Venables named him the starter with the hopes that Hawkins would give them a better chance moving forward. Jackson Arnold didn't play for a number of weeks, but when Hawkins turned the ball over 3 times in the first quarter against South Carolina, Venables went back to Jackson Arnold as the starter, and he remained the Sooners' starting quarterback the rest of the season. Oklahoma averaged only 21 points a game against FBS opponents, the second fewest among all SEC teams, and they finished among the bottom 10 in the FBS in yards per play, yards per pass attempt, and sacks allowed. So as you can see, it was a brutal season for Oklahoma's offense and for Jackson Arnold. But he finished his season with a bang. In a massive upset against Alabama, Arnold rushed for a career-high 130 yards and had 70 passing touchdowns in the upset victory. He heads to Auburn looking for a brand new opportunity with a chance to show people why he was the highly touted quarterback he was coming out of high school. We had a pretty big quarterback transfer this morning, as former North Texas quarterback Chandler Morris announced he'd be transferring to Virginia. It was quite the season for Morris, who finished number 4 in the entire country with 31 passing touchdowns. He also finished number 5 in the country, averaging 315 passing yards per game. This is going to be a massive upgrade for Virginia, who really needed a better quarterback after a rough 2024. Their offense finished 105th in scoring this past season. In 2024 with North Texas, Morris led an offense that ranked number 3 in total offense and number 23 in scoring. Morris is a veteran at this point, as Virginia is going to be his 4th different school. He began his career at Oklahoma in 2020 before he transferred to TCU. He was there from 2021 through 2023 and started a number of games, but he never really panned out with the Horned Frogs. He then transferred to North Texas in 2024, where he was one of the 5 to 10 best quarterbacks in all of college football. For the past week, it was looking like he'd end up at Oklahoma State, as they were the heavy favorites to land him, and that's where everyone was expecting him to go. So him picking Virginia this morning came as a major surprise. A pretty interesting transfer was former Mississippi State quarterback Michael Van Buren transferring to LSU. After Blake Shapen got injured this past year, Van Buren stepped in and made 8 starts for the Bulldogs as a freshman. He threw for just under 2,000 yards and had 16 total touchdowns. Van Buren originally committed to Oregon out of high school, but he decommitted decommitted and went to Mississippi State to play under Jeff Lebby. After he looked solid in his freshman campaign, many were expecting him to return and be the starter in 2025. But Blake Shapen, who was the starter to begin 2024, announced he'd be returning for another year, so Van Buren entered the portal. Now, the reason this move is interesting is because LSU already has their starting quarterback for 2025 with Garrett Nussmeier. LSU has not signed a quarterback in the 25 cycle after #1 overall quarterback Bryce Underwood flipped his pledge to Michigan. So I'm guessing Van Buren has seen the recent quarterback success at LSU and he wants to be next in line. So he'll wait his turn and will likely be the starting quarterback for LSU in 2026. We'll switch things over to defense as Oregon landed who many consider to be the top defensive player available in the portal in Purdue safety Dillon Thieneman. In 2023, he was named the Big Ten's Freshman of the Year. He recorded 106 tackles and had 6 interceptions, tied for the 3rd most in the FBS. He also earned 3rd team All-American honors from the AP. As a sophomore, he led all Big Ten defensive backs with 104 tackles. He also broke up 7 passes and handled punt return duties for the Boilermakers. After a historically good season from Oregon's defense in 2024, they're looking to be even better in 2025. We'll wrap up today's video by going back to LSU with them landing another great player. They added one of the top playmakers in the transfer portal in former Kentucky wide receiver Barion Brown. During his career with the Wildcats, he had more than 3,200 all-purpose yards and 18 total touchdowns. With Garrett Nussmeier returning, he's adding quite the weapon. Brown's value has come in the return game as he's widely considered to be the fastest player in all of college football. He broke an SEC career record and leads all FBS players with 5 career kickoff returns for touchdowns. His 1,500 career return yards also lead all FBS players since 2022. During his Kentucky career, Brown caught 122 passes for 1,500 yards and had 11 receiving touchdowns. He also has 200 yards on the ground with 2 rushing scores while averaging 7 yards a carry. Unfortunately, his production has been going in the wrong direction over the last couple of years. 2022 was his best season, his numbers took a hit in 2023, and his numbers took a hit even more so in 2024. This past season, he caught 29 passes for 400 yards and had 3 receiving touchdowns. Now, granted, if you saw the quarterback play at Kentucky, you'd understand why his numbers look the way they do. With his speed and with Garrett Nussmeier running the offense, Barion Brown has a chance to be a superstar at LSU. Well, that wraps it up for today's video. Which player on today's list do you think is going to make the biggest impact at their new program? Whoever you think it's going to be, let me know what your thoughts and predictions are in the comment section down below. Before you leave, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. I'm posting college football videos all off season long, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that confusing YouTube algorithm that nobody understands, but it does help share this video and my channel with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you all in my next video.